Dr. Michelle is in the house.
Whoa.
Next to Jacob Nordine, who's blowing something for heart health. These are our heart marinis.
Here's a whole batch of them for the bottom of this tasty drinkware.
Bada bing! Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. What?
Ooh, you want to put those on?
Introducing our special guest.
I am a heart doctor. I'm in the local Detroit area. I drove about 25 minutes to get here. Also called the cardiologist, medical doctor. I love everything about glass.
So throughout the show today, we're going to be obviously doing glass. We're going to come back to you in a bit, and we're going to talk health. We're going to take some blood pressure and talk heart health. But for the moment, it's back to the guys on the glass.
I may be the only person ever who's worn a sports coat in this place because it's about 105 degrees.
And we're about to drop a molten gather of 2,000 degree crystal right on top of all these heart marinis to encase all that healthy heart mojo.
All right, here comes the molten glass for that, guys.
Commencing
droppage.
Oh yeah, it's soupy and good. So we just squish that right on there, and you know, I'm gonna use the back of the jacks here. It's not something I actually really condone, because then you go to grab the tool and your hand burns into a crisp. So if you can use a nice extendo paddle, it's a good thing. This is gonna be the members piece once we get this complete, all crystal with about 20 heart marinis down there. We can explain that marini process a little bit later on here. But
I've got the putty right here getting ready. I just saved the gather from that big foot we dropped on there, and I'm making a punny out of it.
It looks orange, it's not orange. If you are new to the show, welcome. We have a special guest in the house tonight. Dr. Joel is a heart doctor, it's our doctor. We thought we'd just start bringing some local guests on. We're tying the theme into the show that we do.
And not only is it just a local super champion guest that we have, it's also like a public service announcement of good health to the people. Now, I can't really say that I know a single thing about heart health.
Uh-oh.
So I'm pretty excited.
We're gonna do your blood pressure first then.
To learn.
So the punty won't really affect those whole big collective of healthy hearts.
Heart cluster?
Encased in the bottom of this glass because there's that layer of crystal over it. A light tap, there we go.
You wrapping it up or am I?
Sure, I'm wrapping it up.
All right.
So you can see the hearts in the bottom of the piece. I think there's about 8 or 10 different styles of heart marini, guys. And a marini is something that you make out of glass and you shape it before you blow the piece. Michelle's showing you what they look like right now when we actually pull out like a 6 to 8 foot long strand, and then that's what the interior looks like, the shape of a heart, and you nibble them up. It's pretty cool.
Say we nibble them up?
We nibble them up. That's why they're called niblets.
That's how little dogs eat their food out of their bowl.
So yeah, a little chuck wagon.
Specialty limited edition hearts right there, available tonight's show only.
Chuck wagon.
Yeah.
Don't even go there. That's like a 1970s dog food commercial.
A dog can get mighty hungry when he doesn't get his chuck wagon.
That's when I watched the most TV, was in the 70s.
Let's introduce the players. In the red shirt, we have Jacob Nordine. In the purple shirt, Chris Nordine. Over here, we have Sarah answering all your questions, enjoying some dinner. We have Dr. Khan in the house.
There he is.
And the faux pas Dr. Roland here to take our blood pressure. And also we have Beth. She's doing our tech for the evening.
Super tech champion.
My name is Michelle. If there's any hooligans that happen tonight, it'll be because I've landed here.
We're on Facebook and YouTube, folks.
We sure are.
Drop it in the comments.
All right, Beth, who do we got on the show tonight?
So the first comment I'm going to read is actually from Hannah from Sweden.
Nice.
We all know Hannah. She's here every week. She says, it's an interesting coincidence that today's question is about heart health because my husband just had open heart surgery today.
What?
Wow.
Everything seems to have gone well, and he's in the ICU now.
All right, sending love out his way.
Lots of good heart mojo going out to Sweden right now.
So we're going to rip this thing open and have a nice even-sided glass right here.
It's a nice everyday tumbler. It could be a rocks glass, could be anything else, but we don't often work in crystal like this. But when you've got some fine detail down in there, it's nice to highlight that.
Can you see those hearts in the bottom, Shell?
Magnified by the glass.
100%.
So we're going to go for a GA stamp on the side of this thing. This piece is going to be only available to our Loyalty League superstars, you guys. So you're going to get first dibs on the Super Heart Special here, which gives you anything you drink out of this is going to give you great heart white light power.
And if you're curious about the membership, we do have a very special show coming up pretty soon here. Harvest virtual show that if you are a member for.
That is our stamp. If you think of Levi's jeans, how they have that little orange tag, that's kind of the branding that we use at the Glass Academy.
This little treat is ready to go. I love it. Looking pretty good. We're going to knock this thing off on the bench over here.
Okay.
Melt in that little chip mark.
That's a lot of fire.
Oxygen out.
It's a lot of fire.
That is a lovely torch. That's really what it should look like. All right,
Jake,
Jake's
get your
got the
mic on.
special gloves. Where are we going?
He's going into a kneeler number 4 over there.
You guys go pick out what you want to make for Dr. Joel.
Yep.
We're going to do some blood pressure, and then we're going to talk about what blood pressure does.
Good thing I'm not a urologist.
If you were, we'd have to put something else set in there.
Could you answer this, Dr. Khan? What is one daily habit you think protects your heart health?
Well, in reality, there's 20 I could list. But
All right, give us a couple.
One, exercise. You got to go with exercise. Probably does everything that a pill does to keep you young, keep your heart young, keep your brain young, help prevent diabetes, try and keep your weight down. And the good news is, as little as 1 minute of exercise a day intensely, just run up the stairs a few times, do some squats, as little as 1 minute counts. 10 minutes will get you a little bit more, and the American Heart Association talks about 30 minutes a day, but if you got 1 minute to walk fast from your car to your office, don't skip that, do that.
My question for you, though, Dr. Khan, is when you say exercise, is it pretty important when you're exercising to make sure that your cardio is up, that you're breathing heavy, that you're bringing your cardio up?
Well, that's the magic of this new data about even 1 minute of exercise. And please do more than 1 minute. Well, 1 minute of relatively intense. It could be a rapid walk, could be the stairs, could be a lot of people are talking now. Just get down to 10 squats. You got 45 seconds. Do that during your work day. It kind of restores your metabolism back to a better place. So yeah, you'll get your heart rate up, but you don't need to keep it up. It's kind of good when your heart rate falls, goes back up, falls, go back up. Call that HIIT exercise. HIIT, you probably heard of it. HIIT exercise. It's a great book called The 1 Minute Workout by a professor in Canada. He's one of the world's leader in exercise. It's a fascinating book. The 1 Minute Workout. The master's making a heart.
Look at that little heart.
I see it. It's incredible.
And that little heart's actually bright red, but because it's 2,000 degrees, it looks brown.
Okay.
But when it comes out of the annealing of it, it will be the color of a real heart.
Are real hearts red?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Joel, tell them about
They
that.
are. When you're in the operating room and they're doing heart surgery, they're red everywhere. Particularly if they don't put the tubes in right. There's red everywhere.
We are going to put that in the side of his wine glass.
If you guys know a urologist, that little heart looks a bit like the prostate.
That's
A little bit
our
like
next
a uterus.
collaboration
Looks like
show.
a uterus, sir.
Did you guys talk about the design of this glass, other than it being about 18 ounces, or is it
can't
an artist's
have any
choice?
holes in it.
No holes.
Because then it's just gonna, not work.
Look like the operating room.
And it probably should be open at the top, not closed. So what are you dipping that molten glass into?
So right now I decided to make the cup top a really beautiful amber gold with that red heart.
Oh,
Then I'm going
wow.
to do a red lip wrap, a red stem, and a red foot.
Wow. So these
Ties
are
in.
colorings?
Yep, so those are colorants, and the cool thing about colorants is that there is no man-made substance that changes clear glass. It's only elements off the periodic table.
Wow.
Which is pretty crazy, and I don't know how
Wow.
or who figured out how all that works or who designed that, but isn't that kind of a crazy fact?
Fluorine and iodine.
Tin, manganese,
Oh, tin, manganese,
cadmium,
yeah.
selenium.
That column.
Gold makes red. You know that?
Gold makes red.
That's right.
Yeah, I thought these were ice cream sundae toppings. I was getting a little excited.
Looks like just a regular round ball. You can't see that color yet.
I think we're good, Jake.
I
Questions
gave you
as
one
of
daily
yet?
habit tip, but there were 20 others, maybe more.
Yeah, give us another one then.
Well, we did one here before we went live. We ate a giant green salad. And that's a great daily tip. No matter what the rest of your diet is, get one giant green salad in. It could be your whole lunch, could be your whole dinner. We talk about a salad as big as your head. And put some spinach, put some kale, put some romaine. I love arugula.
All right, is this a stemless wine glass or no? This
Oh,
is
no.
a stem?
We are making a wine glass with a wine stem and a foot on it, and we're going to embed that heart in the side. Maybe if Jake wants to, we can switch up and he can put the foot on. All right, unless you want to bring me the foot, we could do a gold foot.
Yeah.
We had 2 heart questions come in. The first question is from JT. He wants to know if pickled garlic is good for your heart.
So number one, garlic is good for your heart, without a doubt. Raw garlic, but be careful. A lot of raw garlic, you might puke. I've done that, not knowing it the first time. Aged garlic, black garlic are amazing for the heart.
Oh my
love
gosh,
black
that's my
garlic.
I'm
favorite
not
thing
sure I've
ever.
ever
I love
actually
black
had
garlic.
pickled garlic, but pickling is fermenting, which only makes things healthier, probiotic effect. So bring it on. Let's eat some pickled garlic, but don't put it on a poor quality burger. Put your pickled garlic on a nice black bean burger, my recommendation.
Love a good black bean burger.
And eat pickled garlic after a date, not before a date.
Second question is from Carrie. If you have a strong family history of heart disease, what tests should you run to see what your risk is?
Strong family history of heart disease. Number one, try and get it in another family, okay? But that may not be so easy. Make sure those are really your parents. But in all reality, it kind of depends on your age. Let's just say you're over 40. There is a CT scan of the heart that takes 5 seconds. A heart artery calcium CT scan. It'll cost you about $100 at your local hospital, and you may have to beg your family doctor to order it. Heart calcium CT scan. But you will know if you are starting the journey of developing heart disease at a young age. Number 2, get extra blood work. Get extra blood work. You don't want ordinary blood work. And I could go into what you should order. But don't wait till you're in the emergency room having chest pain. Get this done early and figure out where you're at in life. That's what I do every day in my practice.
What is extra blood work compared to regular blood work?
I love family doctors and internists, but you want to go beyond. You want to look at a word called inflammation, and you want to get a test called high sensitivity C-reactive protein, tell you if you're inflamed or not. And you want a special cholesterol called lipoprotein A. You got to look that word up. Lipo, L-I-P-O, protein, little a, it's a low a. And get that checked. And you'll get a much better handle between the lab work and that one CT scan.
I think
If you're on a path that might lead you to be in trouble or not. And that's what I do every day, and it works incredibly well.
One question I'd like to know, are you accepting new patients?
Am I accepting new patients? Well, one, they have to be regular viewers of Glass Academy YouTube channel. And if they answer that question appropriately and follow Glass Academy on Instagram, if they answer that appropriately, then I might consider taking them on. But yes, I do.
Chris is going to be opening up the cup of this, and we talked a little bit about the plan of sticking this delicate heart right onto the side of the piece. And he's going to be torching one specific spot and getting it available to accept the heart.
sounds like a heart transplant.
Yeah, this is kind of like surgery upon the wine glass.
Transplanting
Dun, dun,
it from the
dun.
paddle
Yeah,
to the cup.
Stat.
big time.
We'll start using medical terms.
We've got another heart question.
All right, what is it?
So Jamie says, what are the different signs of a heart attack? I have a follow-up question. Aren't they different in women than men?
Sometimes the symptoms are the same in men and women. If you feel pressure, tightness, heaviness, sweating, nausea, shortness of breath in your chest, arm, neck, and it's not going away in about 10 seconds, you might be having a heart attack, men or women. So you call 911 and then take an aspirin. And you wait till they're there. Some people say turn the light on, unlock your door. just in case you black out. But sometimes women have other symptoms, fatigue, irregular heartbeats, we call palpitations, nausea, lots of nausea. If you have unexplained nausea, heartburn, it's called heartburn because half the time it's heart. And you can get burned by taking a Maalox and going to bed. So yes, it's true. Women are tricky. And they're not just small little men. Wow, is that stunning.
So now we're going to put that heart
I was
right
wondering,
inside.
okay, I thought maybe I lost heart vision. And many of us do believe that our heart has an influence on our thoughts and our feelings. The same things that are good for your brain are good for your heart. There's like, I can't think of an exception. Exercise, sleep, good nutrition, certain vitamins, maintaining a healthy weight, maintaining a healthy blood pressure. It's good for the brain, it's good for the heart. You know, follow your heart is more than just a common expression.
Speaking of heart surgery,
Chris is a full certified heart surgeon. He attached the heart to the glass. I'm clearly not going to put my hands on it yet. I got a feeling it's
not yet.
quite warm.
Now she's got that iridescence on her.
Oh, incredible, incredible.
Just a little more delicate of a knockoff here than when we were doing the rocks glass.
Expertise.
Here comes the
Now,
dismount.
Chris is being assisted by his incredible wife and son.
Ta-da.
Oh, look at that. Wow.
Running across the shop because that's what we do.
Woo, got it in there, safe and sound, in the oven, guys.
Nicely done, Mr. Chris. Nicely done.
So this is our patient, doctor.
Okay.
This is Michelle. She's had some experience of heart. I get heart palpitations every time I see my wife.
Nice, if she's watching.
She's been having some issues with blood pressure. So if we could, doctor, if we could do the
Right.
blood pressure now, please.
Well, I do sometimes answer the question I was asked, what's the number one heart habit to talk about? I actually usually answer, own a home blood pressure cuff. Now, this is the version you might see a doctor use. This is not what you want to buy at home. You want the automatic digital,
Should we use that?
put it on your arm. Let's do it both ways. Blood pressure above 120 over 80, you might start developing hardening of the arteries. You're going to be at more risk of stroke and heart attack over the years. When you eat a lot of garbage food, processed food, salt food, we're going to go up to, let's go to 200, and I'm going to listen very carefully, unfortunately. I'm listening for lub-dub, lub-dub, lub-dub. Oh, she's such a cool cucumber. Lub-dub, lub-dub. Yeah, she's like 106 over 72. That is actually ideal. And as we get older, we don't take care of our body, and it tends to go up, and it causes problems. Kidney disease, heart disease, brain disease. Guys, women, sexual impairment. That's why you want a home blood pressure cuff.
So what about coffee, espresso?
Unbelievably, the most recent study published, a big study a month ago, the average blood pressure falls with 1 to 2 cups of coffee. Falls. People relax, people converse, people kind of sit back and take an accounting of their life. So coffee has a reputation of not being ideal. Now, there are people that get hyper on coffee. We know that. There are people that get jittery on coffee. Follow your body. You want to drink coffee. Coffee is actually an incredible healthy food.
So
almost as healthy as English tea.
if coffee does get you all worked up so you could go have a major workout, is that okay, or does it kind of
No.
counteract that?
No, coffee is a good, that's called an ergogenic aid, if you want a fancy word on Scrabble. But coffee before a workout is perfectly fine. Now, if your heart's going nuts, don't do it. But if you're grooving with it, I start every day with a good mug of coffee, black, organic.
Okay, next up is Jacob Nordine.
I got a really cool design that I think we're going to go for. I'll show you in 1 second, but I did want to highlight these that Chris here made yesterday, and he only made 3 of each color pattern, and I think this might be the coolest heart that we've made in the shop in multiple years. Super limited edition. There is a give back portion to tonight's show, so we wanted to offer something that was unique and cool and to get you guys to purchase something If you already have hearts at home, make it unique to one of a kind.
You're gonna make the heart first, we'll put it in the garage?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. So we got what we got going on over here, folks, and I'm gonna do it in glass blower technique. We got a nice red wine cup with a couple racing stripes on it,
How did you know it was red wine?
because that's the shape of the cup right there, is a red wine cup. If it was
Got
about
it.
an inch taller on the top, it would have been like a white wine, a chilled white wine cup, but that's a lower bowl. And then we've got an Avolio, which is the traditional transition point between the stem and the foot and the stem and the cup, which I've mentioned many times. That's why most of the museums around the world, all of their 400 to 1,000-year-old glass goblets are all Venetian, because the Venetians perfected the Avolio, so their goblets are stronger and last the test of time. And we've got a heart.
Spell the word Venetian.
Venetian? If you can say centrifugal force.
I can. It's centripetal.
What? Centripetal?
Yes.
Is that some type of like, you got
I've
a
done
tongue
the
twister
research.
going on? It's not centripetal.
I've done the research.
Centripetal, not centripetal.
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 Are we making up words?
So this is
Good
a
question.
pretty sweet technique. Jake's making the three-dimensional, we call them hollow heart, for the center of this wine glass. And I was just going to say to him, Jake, keep it small, because normally we make them a lot bigger, but he read my mind and he knew it, so we weren't going to have like an 18-inch tall wine glass.
No.
You never want that.
You don't really want that. And I didn't pull it out completely with a nice even. It was more of a taper, and it was huge. And you know, you want to have a delicate double finger grab all up in there.
Call it like the healthy lover's glass, because you can look through the center of the heart at the person you're sitting across the table from and give them the big eye.
Whoa. Yeah, I'm gonna organize this bottom zone once it's on the gobletto.
The gabletta?
So that was a two-tone, double red, super twisted heart. A lot of love involved in it. And now we're gonna go for a crystal clear wine sipping or fruit bowl delivering glass, and it's gonna have two racing stripes.
What would you do if you were going to want to mix like fruits and berries and a wine glass? What would you drink out of that?
Sangria.
That's right.
Low light.
So I added a nice coating of this iridescent gold on here for the Avolio, and I was just mentioning to Jake, and he was agreeing with me, and he already knew it. He's going to make it a pacifier bit, which is more like you don't flatten the one side of the Avolio, so that it's got a little tiny rounded shape that goes into the connection point of the heart.
I'm gonna get a paddle, Dad.
I love it when I see that happen. You want a paddle?
Yeah. Squish.
I'm squishing.
Okay.
Pretty darn hard. This paddle right here is
I
the one
got
that's
you
made
beat
out
too.
of like, he likes balsa wood, I think.
That thin boy.
Yeah, and it's just like leaves a little bit of scarification on the glass. Just really doesn't do any good. So I'm gonna make sure that I just throw that in the garbage tonight.
It was a really nice paddle.
Until it wasn't.
Until it wasn't, yeah. I think just doing a stickum bit, a real hot, clear bit right there, that's a little smaller than the size of the Avolio, but still strong and secure. So you can see we're building it down here. That's gonna be iridescent gold. We're gonna put the heart on there, and I wanted to do it sideways because I don't want the cravache of the heart to be tucked up in there and have it covered and filled in with glass so it looks less heart-like. I think if it's angled at a side, you might be able to see and appreciate the shape of that a little bit more. So I was preheating those tweezers there by grabbing the moil of the glass multiple times before swirling that on here. I'm ready. And Chris held that heart up for a little extra couple hundred degrees of heat so that when I grab it like this.
Give the squish down. Yep, there you go.
And another cool thing, which I can't honestly say I did intentionally about putting that stickum bit instead of using the golden Avolio, you're able to see the ribbage of the twist up in that heart there and see the completion of the heart better with clear than if it was more of a metallic situation.
You're gonna want another gold Avolio, correct?
Yeah, then here, yes. This is platform and bridge number 2. It's turning out to be a little cutie pie.
So that was a blown foot there, guys. A little different than the footing tool I did on Joel's piece. That was a solid footing tool foot. This is a Venetian style foot. That was a bubble that was blown. And Jake's actually gonna take the jacks and he's gonna neck down the end of it just before it's closed, and then I'm gonna break it off and it's gonna have an opening so he can flare that open into a nice thin foot of a wine glass.
And the reward versus the risk on this one is that you do get the most delicate and elegant foot on the bottom of your glass. However, especially when you got a stem built out like this, breaking this nub off here is a very precarious moment. So I'm cooling it down with the back of the blades. I'm going in with the giant diamond shears.
Getting ready for the punty now. He's got that blown foot. It's looking real tasty. I'm gonna give him a specific punty that he really likes a lot. It's an extra 2 inches long, so be careful, Jake.
Love that. I'm gonna choose to knock this off really elegantly here.
What?
Nice.
Then, do we do the racing stripes?
I think so, out of like red.
Red. Or gold. Gold might be nice. I think gold racing stripes would be the move. When you do these racing stripes, the way and the thickness that you cut the glass after pulling it down makes a huge difference with how well you can hide the start and the finish of each line. If you do a big chunky, not in control, nasty cut, I'm ready when you are, Dad.
Yeah, I was thinking that also you got to make sure you cut downward with your cut so that you've got a point attaching to the glass and not a square stop.
All right, you got to make sure your top's a little bit warm. Let's do it.
We'll get another one. Nice. So that's all about the temperature of the glass being really hot and exactly the right temperature.
Yeah, that was a little bit thicker than I wanted, but I'm going to take it and I'm going to line it up with the back of the jacks a little bit here, kind of push it into the body of the glass. And that's really what glass blowing's all about. It's like the more you can push the delicacy, goblet making, I guess, the more you've got it figured out.
Look at that, Jacob, what a master. Is that like the umbilical cord
Yes.
healing up and drying up right there?
That's
Yes.
pretty funny.
We're getting rid of the belly
Is it
button
an
right
outie,
now.
an outie or an innie?
This one's going to be an innie.
It's going to be an innie, okay.
I prefer innies.
There
And
you
then
go.
it's stamped on the bottom.
That's how they make innies on babies.
That's a beauty right there. I'm excited to get that one online. That thing was delicate and red and gold, expensive, thin, and it's going to be a good sipper. That's a red or white wine or really
Let's
anything
go
you
check
want.
your blood pressure.
Calling Jake to the office, please. Jake to the doctor's office. Thank you.
That is the annealing oven. That is where the glass will cool down overnight. And that was so thin we could probably cool it down in 10 hours. But if it's thicker, you want to cool it down for even longer. And if we didn't cool it down, it would just crack and fall apart.
Okay, doctor, so here's Jake as our new next patient.
Yeah.
Should
so
I?
we wanna,
Yeah.
Yeah, have a seat. We wanted
Okay,
to get
I'm
you on.
feeling good. I'm feeling proud. I'm feeling sweaty.
Okay.
What about giving blood? So I gave blood last week.
Oh,
I'm
that's
never doing
different.
that again. They kept asking so many stupid questions like, where'd you get the blood from? Why is it in a bucket?
What?
But giving blood, is that good
So,
for the heart?
giving blood is certainly good to the person that needs to get the blood. So filling the blood bank is a wonderful thing. It's actually pretty good for you to donate, regrow new blood, donate, regrow new blood. 106 over 70. That is normal.
What does it
That is
mean?
wonderful.
All right.
106 is the top. It's the
You're
blood pressure
alive.
when the heart squeezes, and 70 is when the heart relaxes.
We were looking it up right now because Jake just drew a anatomical heart on the floor, and it looked like a set of bagpipes.
Yes.
Bagpipes.
Because we want to make one for the giveaway.
Heart.
Look, I wasn't even that far away from it.
It looks like a potato's growing something.
You see, there's a bunch of tubes and
Yeah, that doesn't look very exciting to make.
I mean,
I
it looks
think it
kind
looks
of
kinda
weird,
cool.
but that is
It's on
heart-shaped
someone's
right
table.
there.
They'll
You
be
see
like,
that.
This is a family show, right?
this is a family show.
Because you wouldn't want to do this with a urologist.
No, we wouldn't. We'd be in trouble.
Appropriate
Absolutely
for the
not.
family.
But we see that heart, and it kind of is really shaped like a heart.
Kinda?
Yeah,
Wow.
it's crazy.
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
So technically, Joel, there's two tubes that come out of the heart. One of them, and then the other one comes out and splits off into other tubes.
Yeah, there's a red tube called the aorta that goes and delivers blood through the body, and there's a blue tube that returns blood. So you got a blue one called the vena cava, a red one called the aorta.
All right, if you're new to the show, feel free to subscribe. You just ring that bell on the YouTube page.
Anyway, here goes Chris. He's going into the red, which is going to look like brown as soon as he heats it up.
Victoria
I even pulled out a little copper
breathing.
ruby potentially for some dark heart action, some realistic color. So is this on a blowpipe or is this going to be solid?
Blowpipe. I'm going to puff it out, and we're going to separate the two sides of the heart and have it be hollow.
Ah.
But I'm going to leave it a little thicker just so we're not like trying to blow some like super thin Venetian heart.
So he did some like kind of stripey dipping, twisting, so you can see it looks like muscles and veins in there.
Yeah, and I swirled in a little bit of blue because Joel was saying how there's that blue valve, the blue tube. That's the blood that's going back to the heart. And then the red is the fresh, maybe oxygenated and all super healthy and tasty going into the body. But this is kind of like the picture I just saw with some cool different stripes of darker Merlot colored things for a heart body. Pretty neat looking. I remember the bottom of it looked like a heart, so I was like, whoa, that's
Still
pretty
there.
sweet. We got two sides that are hollow.
What color's the tube that you want?
Let's do the red one first, then we'll do the other one.
So Jake has a torch in his hand, heating a certain area
Ready for
of
it?
the pipe, and then Chris has allowed this heart section to cool off. And then Jake will bonk his pipe, or Chris will, and off it comes.
It's pretty cool tube application. See that extra bit of torch there? While he's torching the tip, the glass, as you guys know, cools down really fast. Just the fact that he stuck that onto a colder heart, which is about like 1400 degrees, and focused heat on just the lip of it. By the time he was done putting all that heat on there, the bottom had stiffened up and he could pull out the lip and shape that up into something that he wanted. Red's a really tricky color that'll look real weird if you mix it with too many other colors. So I'm gonna try and put this on in kind of a controlled, not overdone manner, and not superheat it too much either.
Amazing.
So that's where I'm going to
Somebody
put
in
the blue
Detroit-
one.
Somebody needs that in Detroit.
Look at that thing. Perfect.
Gonna deposit the heart.
Give it, install it, transplant it into the oven.
Transplanting.
Thank you, Dr. Khan,
It
for
was
joining us.
Such a pleasure. Such a pleasure.
Amazing
There you
shot.
go. We're all watching. Hi, everyone. All right, thank you for watching. We appreciate
Thank
each
you.
and every one of you.
Bye.
Come back often, tell your friends, and thanks to our guest tonight, Dr.
Share the
Khan.
feed, everybody.
That's right.
Good night.
Goodbye. And I didn't pull it out completely, and it was huge. And you know, you want to have a delicate double finger grab all up in there.
It's an extra 2 inches long.
Boom. Nice.